Welcome back to Pandemic Legacy Season 1. We're into April. Let's continue. Up first, we have Trevor, who's currently sitting in Istanbul. And we got trouble all over River City, especially here where we have no quarantine, Ho Chi Minh City. Things are looking not great. Let's figure out what we want to do for our 4 actions for Trevor. He has 3 blue cards. He could meet with Gwen and Essen and grab a 4th. Let me think about this. We're going to come right back and have Trevor take his turn. Alright, I think we're going to have him move to Cairo for 1. For 2, he'll remove all the disease cube Zombie X from Cairo. His 3rd action will be to move to Khartoum. And his 4th action, he'll move here to Lagos. We have a quarantine marker in here, so I'm not too worried about him getting stuck there. I mean, we could remove all the cubes and he could sit at Khartoum because he has that special ability to do treat a disease at adjacent location. But I think we're good to have him there. I think that's what we're going to do. So that's his 4 actions. Yep, so now he's just going to be grabbing 2 cards. Let's hope we don't get an epidemic. We probably are not going to. He gets St. Petersburg. Ooh, he has 4 blue cards in Baghdad. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. If Gwen can meet him in Essen, she can give him an Essen card. He'll have 5 blue cards. But we're not finished with his turn. He has 6 cards now total, 4 of them blue. It's now time to infect some cities. Ah yes, the lovely part of the game where we infect cities. We're pulling 2 cards, we get 1 cube on each city, and we have San Francisco. Ah yes, the San Francisco treat with some Milan pox. Ooh, that's 3 on San Francisco now. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, yeah. And up next we have Algiers. Algiers gets a Zombie X, and now there's 2 there. Alright, well that's the end of Trevor's turn. Up next, we're going over to Nick, our operations expert. Alright, Nick is currently sitting here at Kolkata, and he is going to, as an action, build a structure in the city you are in. No card required. It's awesome. A structure, which can either be a CDC or a military complex. He's going to build a military complex, of course, because if we can get 1 in each region, that's 1 of our 3 missions or objectives completed. That was action 1. His 2nd and 3rd action will be to move to Ho Chi Minh City, and his 4th and final action, yeah, he's going to go ahead and put a quarantine back at Ho Chi Minh City. That, I think, is what he's going to do. Alright, that's very quickly the end of Nick's turn. He gets a couple of cards. We're hoping to not see an epidemic. And we get Kinshasa. He's got 3 yellow now. He's got a red and a black. Okay, that's going to be his turn. Wow, very quickly. So far, so good. Alright, up next we have Vicky. She's the blue player sitting over here in Paris. We'll figure out what we want to do with her. I think we want to have Vicky get over to Algiers. It says, you may share knowledge with a coworker as long as one of you is in the city of that card that is being passed. So, Gwen has Algiers. Vicky's got Cairo and Delhi. Vicky only needs 4 cards to cure one of the diseases. So for her first action, she'll go 1, or actually her first action, she'll move to Algiers. Second, actually her 2nd and 3rd will be to remove the 2 disease cubes, the Zombie X, off Algiers. And her 4th and final action will be to share knowledge with Gwen. One of them is in the city where they're sharing cards. Gwen is then going to give Algiers to Vicky. She's got 3 of the 4 needed now for her to cure Zombie X. And Zombie X has a common structure. You no longer need to be in a research station to discover a cure for the disease. And that's the same as Milan pox. So she doesn't even have to get to a CDC. If she can get 4 black cards, boom, as an action, she can just go ahead and cure Zombie X. Okay, that's the end of Vicky's actions. So 2 cards for her. And she gets, oh, darn it, she gets Sydney and Mexico City. She does not have another black card. And she has 6 cards. All right, well, yeah, it is now time to infect the lovely cities once again. All right, infect those cities with 2 of them. Cairo gets some Zombie X happening. Cairo is right there. And we still have Bogota, which is sitting with, no, look at Moscow. Oh, wow. Some Zombie X in Moscow. Wow, that's very quickly the end of Vicky's turn. Up last for our episode today. Oh man, did we get so lucky? We have Gwen going, and let's figure out what Gwen is going to do. All right, Gwen is over here in Atlanta. She's going to focus on some problem spots. Her special ability is she can put a quarantine marker on any city anywhere on the board once per turn. She's going to put that on San Francisco. Boom! It has a quarantine. So that's one action. Second action, third action, she gets over here to Bogota, and she can cure one of the cubes. You know what? She will just cure one of the cubes off of there. She could put a quarantine on there, but there's really... Oh, actually, no. She will put a quarantine marker on there because if it shows up and she's there, you don't lose the quarantine marker. Maybe next time she'll worry about removing some cubes. I like that. Well, that's the end of Gwen's actions very quickly. Wow, this episode is going to be very short. Unless, of course, 2 new cards off the top of the deck, and it is... Oh, well, 2 yellow ones. Impalo Cartoon, we did not get any epidemics. She has 4 yellow cards now. If she can get to Mexico City, she can do a share action with Vicky and then cure the yellow disease. Wow, that would be awesome. And Mexico City's 1 space away. Huh! Well, we're not finished with her turn yet because now we have to infect some cities. Okay, it is time to infect a couple cities. We're still at 2. Wow, I cannot believe, wow, we dodged. We did get an epidemic really early, so I guess the other one might have been shuffled down a little farther. First city, Beijing. I hate seeing that red coming up because you can't treat it, you can't cure it. Beijing now has 2. Ooh, that's not good. Alright, and the next card in the deck is Lagos, which is right here with a quarantine marker and our medic. Yeah, so the quarantine marker comes off, but we do not add any cubes there. Excellent. That is actually not bad. All right, so taking a look at things, we have, our Trevor's got 4 blue cards. If he can get to Essen with Gwen, he can then get a 5th blue card. We have Nick with 3 yellow cards. We have Gwen with 4 yellow cards. And we have Vicky with 3 black cards. If Vicky can meet Nick in Kolkata, which is right there, she can get that card from him and cure the black. I don't know. I think, although I don't know what this event's going to be. When that thing triggers, that might be absolutely devastating. I don't know. I've not played this game before. It's my first time through it. All right, well, that's very quickly. Wow, super quickly. The end of everybody's turn. We were lucky to not get an epidemic this time, which guarantees us, I think, an epidemic in the next episode. And that's going to hit us hard, and that's going to also trigger this. So next episode, as short as this one is, the next one might be 30 minutes or more. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes. This is Pandemic Legacy Season 1. We're into April. We're playing once again with Trevor, Nick, Vicky, and Gwen. I like that combination, but we might get some more characters later in the months. Then I might want to swap things up. And you don't have to play with 4, you can play with 3. I think you can play with 1 if you wanted, but that sounds suicidal. So thanks so much, and I hope to see you tomorrow for the continuation. Arrgh! But of course, a big correction here at the end of the episode. I forgot to infect cities on Nick's turn. Should have grabbed 2 cards and infected cities. And I didn't do it. I forgot. I'm going to do it here at the end and hope we don't mess anything up and we get Paris. Okay, we get some Milan, Pox, and Paris. So this is actually what would have come up at the end of Gwen's turn. Oh, Paris, Paris, Paris. Right there. And our next card is Montreal. Okay, Montreal. I don't think then, there's two there now. I don't think that actually messed anything up too much. It might have changed our decisions as to what people were going to do a little bit. So yeah, the two cities that came out at the end of Vicky's turn should have been the two cities at the end of Trevor's turn. Likewise, the two that came out at the end of Gwen's turn, yeah, should have been Vicky's two cards, and then Gwen, those should have been... Anyway, it didn't screw things up, thankfully. So yeah, so actually the two cards that we just drew now should have been the end of Gwen's turn. Ooh, anyway, thanks so much. Sorry for that error. I did get it fixed. It didn't screw things up, thank goodness, because I don't know how I would have unwound it all without refilming everything, which I don't really, or not really keen on. So thanks so much, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for the continuation.